Last month, I made a simple decision. Walk 10,000 steps. No gym, no diet, just walking. This simple decision to be more active has been the single greatest decision of my life. And all it took was literally one single step.
Catch your breath. Quickly.
I started this challenge at 322 pounds. I'd gained back 20 out of the 50 pounds I had just lost a few months prior, and I didn't want to go back to my all-time high of 350 again. There were a lot of things stressing me out for me to start gaining again, from things like my living situation and being in debt. So finding joy in eating junk is something I've gotten into the habit of doing. The problem is, I knew this was ruining my life and I had to do something to get it under control. So I kept it simple. Let me try and hit 10,000 steps a day, every day, no matter what. This sounds easy in theory until you actually start doing it. You don't realize that getting the steps in is the easy part. My issue was the time it takes, how boring it becomes having to show up every single day whether you feel like it or not. That's the part that gets you. Anyone can have a good day, but stacking day after day when you're tired, when you're stressed, when your life isn't where you want it to be, that's where most people fall off. And that's exactly what I used to do. My problem started off being it was just too big of a goal. 10,000 is a big number, and getting that done takes a lot of time and energy I didn't think I had. Now, I truly believe that it will just take a whole bunch of willpower to power through this. And that's what I was doing right before I started this challenge, when I was just walking to walk. But I made one tiny adjustment that really made things a lot easier. All I started doing was adding another walk time during the day. Instead of just choosing morning or night, I started doing morning and night. And all of a sudden, instead of getting bored or gassed out for walking so long for one period of time, it became digestible, and I hardly noticed that it stopped being a chore. I officially solved the biggest challenge I was having in a way that encouraged me to stick with it. Suddenly, 10,000 steps did not feel like it was the end goal, and it quickly became my bare minimum. The first week I could tell you I was averaging 15,000 steps, all because I made that simple change. By week 2, I started incorporating podcasts, and instead of limiting myself to time I put towards each walk, I started walking the full length of these hour-long podcasts, and I started pushing 18,000 steps for the week. By week 3, my feet were killing me. The novelty of walking so much for so long has worn off, and getting up and out to complete the goal has been tougher and tougher to do. The only thing was, I was not prepared to quit, and it made me want to go even harder and push through the pain I was already feeling. In hindsight, I probably should have taken this time to rest and heal, but the soreness and the blisters, I chalked up to being part of the journey. And all of a sudden, I was averaging 20,000 steps. By the last week, the blisters are gone, but the walks in the morning from sleeping cramped up are always a pain to get up and do, but if I don't get them done, then I won't get them done. At this point, I've found multiple podcasts that I can listen to in several different places to walk around, so the daily steps don't get boring. I stopped trying to push how many steps I can actually do, so some days are 15,000 and some are closer to 20,000, but 10,000 is something I always blow past by. These extended walks just started becoming more and more of something I look forward to, since it became easy and was a bit of a stress reliever when it came to dealing with parts of my life. I went into this challenge kind of half-baked, thinking it was just a good goal to achieve. I didn't think it was something I'd actually stick to, let alone add more on top of. It simply felt as if this would help me lose weight along the way. But when I tell you I was losing weight, the pounds were dropping fast. Each week's weigh-in felt like a joke, and despite it not being my intention of speeding up the process, reconfirmed to me just how good walking could be. It was something that I couldn't overcomplicate and was simple but effective way to get exercise in. There was no way to fail other than not doing it at all. That's exactly what I need. The mental shift it provided me was pivotal. I stopped treating it like a choice and it started becoming a habit. I just went. Even if I was late, even if I was slow, even if it felt pointless. None of that mattered because I was building it into my routine. The less choices I had to make, the more automatic it started becoming. Here's what the challenge provided me, even if walking every day doesn't seem like much. It changes how you see yourself. If you're somebody who wishes they could lose a lot of weight, you stop becoming someone who wishes and start becoming someone who follows through. Giving yourself that label makes situations like giving up seem far more unrealistic than pushing through. The mindset you gain from just keeping the promise you made to yourself is worth more than losing the weight, in my opinion, because it will bleed into other aspects of your life. New goals you give yourself become more believable from the get-go, and you're far more willing to succeed as a result. And it keeps compounding purely because of one simple thing. You kept the promise to yourself and you didn't give up. It's crazy because I started this thinking I just needed to lose weight, and this was something I figured I could shoot for. And then it slowly morphed into I had to stop selling myself short, that I should start taking more leaps of faith and see what happens. This YouTube channel is a prime example of that. Who knows where this will go, but in the meantime, it does not matter. It keeps me on track to lose weight and be a better version of myself, and that's all I could ask for. And for the first time in a long time, it feels like I'll finally be able to follow through on this weight loss journey. Knowing that completing a simple challenge that I've kept doing past the 30-day mark shows me that I could do this long term. And knowing that I could push past the pain and soreness in the hot weather or when it's pouring rain proves to me it can be done even when I don't feel like it. The best part about this is nothing I'm doing is extreme. There's no starving myself. I'm not restricting what I eat. I'm not doing insane workouts. I just stopped quitting before getting started. And that's been the difference every single time. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.